With the Intermediate Student Pages, you can really teach your kids the Bible and give them the tools they need to read it on their own and apply it to their lives. The Intermediate Student Pages guide you through the entire lesson, targeting students in and around the 3rd and 4th grades. They are easy to use and fun for kids. Each lesson is 2 8.5 by 11 sheets of paper, front and back, and they are sold in 26 lesson sets. If you get the printed version, the sets are lightly glue bound on one side, so you can easily tear out each page as you need it. They are also available to download. You can guide your students through the student page, or if you wish, they can do it largely on their own. If you are teaching a class, you'll want the Intermediate Teacher Key for yourself. It is spiral bound at the top. Here is a quick tour through an Intermediate Student Page lesson. Each lesson begins with a brief memory work section. Students will learn books of the Bible, key verses in the Bible, and other things that are helpful to memorize. They will sometimes have activities where they find things in their Bible. This section usually refers you to the Bible book summary cards. The optional Bible book summary cards teach students the basic content and themes of every book in the Bible. Next is a review activity to help kids remember what they studied in earlier lessons. Review is key to help their learning stay with them. A little section called Guess What has interesting facts or definitions that will help students understand the Bible text they will be reading. Next, students dive into the Bible text of the day. In the Discover the Bible section, students read from their own Bibles and interact with the illustrations to help them think about, enjoy, and remember what they are reading. How does it work? Students begin by reading the verses for number 1. Then you read the activities for number 1 while the student completes them on their page. Depending on your situation, students can also read the activities and do them completely on their own. When they have completed those activities, they will go to number 2, read those verses and do those activities, and so on. Students constantly interact with the Bible story and think about what they are reading. Every lesson emphasizes an application verse they will focus on later. After reading the Bible text, students do activities with a timeline or map. Every lesson has either a timeline or a map section. The timeline helps students understand the big picture of the Bible and how everything they learn fits into it. We want students to know the stories and teachings of the Bible in detail, but we also want to help them fit that information into God's larger story. Using the timeline, you learn where each major person fits into the history of the Bible. You don't have kids getting Noah and Moses confused anymore. The same goes for the simple maps. This earlier lesson uses a map of the land of Israel in New Testament times. As students learn the places where events happened, they remember the events better. They also see that the things they are learning actually happened in the same world they are living in today. You may also use the optional wall map and timeline set. It is incredibly helpful and fun for kids. After the timeline or map, students have an active game or project that gets them away from their student page for a while. This fun activity helps them get ready to apply what they have learned from the Bible to their own lives. After that activity, they go to the Apply It section. This is where they start applying the Bible text to themselves. They read the application verse, then they read the first part of a short modern story they can relate to. Then they are asked to tell the rest of the story. They try to tell the story in a way that applies the application verse to the modern story. By doing this, they are learning to apply biblical truth to modern situations. Then they make it personal. They answer questions that help them apply the application verse to their own lives. When they have done that, they pray and ask God to help them do what they have learned. While kids are being shaped by God's Word, the Bible is becoming more familiar and comfortable. They are gaining the confidence needed to understand God's Word and apply it.